This week on the Not Sauce for Work podcast, Terry Tam is in studio and Eagle is synchronizing his viewpoint. We'll be talking about the wild finishes in Week 2, the Cleveland Browns tailgate, and the state of the Phoenix Suns and Mercury. We'll also get into a player suing his former team, 2 players skating away, while another extends his career on the gridiron. We'll get into this and much more on this episode of Not Sauce for Work on the Hot Sauce Sports Podcast Network.
Yeah.
Welcome, everyone. You're listening to and perhaps watching Not Sauce for Work. Joining me, of course, as I said in the intro, is Terry Tam. Terry, how's it going?
Very good. The sound of the music is only in one ear.
Yeah.
It's fucking annoying.
But
listen, pick your problems, okay?
we can hear each other, which is a nice change from the moment we walked into the studio.
Yep.
Eagle, how's it going, bud?
It's good. I got coffees today.
Thank you.
Usually the crafted coffees, like the ones that are espresso, lattes, etc., take forever, and just a regular coffee, they just go. But they had to make a brand new batch, so I had to wait 10 minutes for your coffees.
Oh.
So they're
and you
fresh.
were still relatively on time.
Yeah.
But my pumpkin spice latte is cold.
Oh.
That's a shame. Yeah, because those fancy drinks, they get cold pretty quick.
Yeah, because they're all sugar.
Caramel
Sugar's cold.
Caramel macchiato is actually your best bet to get it if you have like a little like a sugar tooth, and it's not too heavy because they just put a little bit of caramel inside.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. The rest is all milk and coffee.
Terry, do you have words you can't spell? Like, routinely?
Drawer.
Drawer?
It happened today.
Okay.
How do you spell drawer?
D-R-A-W-E-R.
Nope. D-R-O-O-R. That's how I spell
Drawer.
it. Drawer.
Drawer.
Door.
To be fair, like sometimes when I open my drawer.
And I tell autocorrect, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're wrong.
Yeah, you're wrong. I'm right.
I got 2 on this script. Well, this script and the one from my other show that were troublesome for me today. One is Cleveland. I get Cleveland wrong every time.
What's your mistake?
I don't know where the E's and L's go.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about like when you type?
Yeah.
Oh, when you type for, I always write fur, like I. Oh, I always.
No, but I'm not saying like typo. Like I write it and then I just I'll let the computer correct it because I don't know how to spell the word.
Oh, okay. No, that's not the case then for me.
Yeah.
Drawer,
No, the fur and
I
for.
use drawer.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I write fur for 4.
Yeah.
I write
Duck instead of fuck.
if instead of.
Yeah.
There's a few.
The other one is Q. I can't spell Q. Like not the letter, but like to put things in Q.
Q-U-E-U-E?
See how fuck that is? It's so weird.
Yeah.
Sorry, see how duck that is?
Q-U-U?
Considering I use the word very often, dependent.
Oh, I thought you were
always
saying,
gets me.
considering how often I write very often.
Availability. No idea how to spell it.
No, those are
Availability?
easy
That
for
was
some
not bad.
reason.
I can do
It's
that.
Okay, spell availability then.
A-V-A-I-L-B-I-L-I-T-Y.
L what?
Avail ability. It's literally 2 words combined.
Isn't it availability?
No.
No.
All right.
Because ability is not a word.
Yeah, but you don't. But
You
not,
don't look at a player and be like,
Yeah, but
he's really able.
When you spell happiness, it's not with a Y, like pursuit of happiness. It's with an I.
yes.
So I was thinking the same thing for availability.
But it's an A.
Availability.
Not a Y.
Yeah, but yeness is not a word.
What about construction? Where's the CH in that one? I know it's because people say construction because we're lazy, but it's construction.
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 It's one of those people that spells 3 T-R-E-E, 1 true.
Or tonight with I-T-E at the end. That's not real, right? Because a lot of people make that mistake.
It's like an American colloquialism.
It is. Okay.
Like you see it on signs in the U.S.
I look down on people that do that.
Don't tell Vermont.
I mean, but they don't know that I spell drawer.
So
like an
a
idiot.
guy applied for a job in my office, and he submitted a CV. His first sentence had 2 misspellings in it, and I'm like, I didn't even read the rest. I literally put it in the garbage right away.
First of all, don't you want this
Did
guy
you put it in the drawer?
You want this guy for the job.
No.
Because he's like, why should I waste my time on petty little details
He's got a good point.
when I'm a big picture kind of guy? That's how I would spin it.
Yeah.
No.
Don't look at my words.
He goes like, no, if you can't spell your name.
Don't look at my words. Look at my pictures.
Exactly.
Just like
Yeah.
a bunch of headshots.
Do as I say, not as I draw.
Yeah.
Not as I write. Do as I draw, not as I write.
Exactly. I saw this meme. Speaking of drawings, I saw this meme that was a picture of Tom Brady at the like at a press conference.
Yeah.
And it said, Tom Brady looks like a drawing Kevin Bacon from memory.
I saw that, yeah. It's so fucking good.
I can't unsee it now.
It's so true because the skinny lips, the chin, the big forehead,
Yeah.
the fucking...
He went full bacon.
Oh, man, full bacon.
You can't come back when you go full bacon.
And he still hasn't had a strawberry.
No, not
Poor
a single
guy.
time.
Poor
Not a
guy.
single time.
Confirmed, not Masked Singer. Confirmed.
Or is that what they want you to
Yes,
believe?
that's what he wants you to believe.
Because like he's got Wednesdays off. Guess when the shootings are?
Exactly,
For Masked
yeah.
Singer?
You say that actually. There was a promo for the newest season of The Masked Singer, and they're actually using Tom Brady in the promo material. So
Of
they're
course
in on
they
it for
are.
sure.
Well, but like if you're them, why don't you steer into that?
And he has to
1,000%?
he has to be dressed up as a goat. I mean, that's just
that would be the best.
that's natural. Right?
Like at that point, like there's not even an argument. You can't even.
yeah,
Like I spend most of my adult life hating Tom Brady, and like at that point, I give up. You're my favorite person.
I don't hate the guy. I think he's a perfectly nice human being.
No, but I hate him because I'm a Dolphins fan, and
Oh,
he tortured me
yeah.
for 2 decades.
No, actually, the Dolphins have his number. No,
Well, yes, and
Just the
at
Dolphins
the
can't-
end,
Dolphins-
not for the entire run.
Dolphins can't do the thing that would eliminate Tom Brady. They can't win in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They can't make the playoffs,
They can't make the playoffs.
but they can beat them in the regular
I
season.
told you there's the puzzle where they're 10 to win their last 11 games. Going back to last season, they didn't make the
That's
playoffs.
fucking bananas.
That's insane.
It's bananas.
Anyway, we'll get into.
Can we make Tom Brady dress up as a supermodel instead of as a goat? I think that would be more relevant.
Yeah, that would be a Victoria's Secret, just lingerie, straight up lingerie.
Yeah.
with the Brazil flag on it.
I'd watch it. All right, so let's get to it. Time for the news. Terry, it's the news.
Is it though?
It is. Isn't it? Is it now? Is it now?
Is it now?
Yeah.
I said though. I think it's
You-
now or
it's
though.
both?
Yeah.
It's like
It's
variations.
interchangeable.
Yeah. But I think it's mostly though.
That's you playing blues on the show. You just have different sort of
Yeah.
improvisations.
But I think it's mostly no.
All right.
Yeah.
Now we'll know.
Yep.
We'll keep an eye out for it. We're gonna start tracking it. Put a tracker up at the corner of the screen each time. We see who wins at the end of the season.
What?
We put up. We have
Of
a
him
tracker.
saying the line?
No, of no versus though. No v though, and we'll sell T-shirts. No v though.
Oh, that's a good one.
I like it.
It's not that
Now. Is it now?
Is it now? Yeah, now
not
v.
no,
Now
is it?
v though.
Now versus though.
Yeah.
Now or though.
And we'll be all over the place.
Then we'll make a movie. Now or like now and then.
Yeah.
It'll be a fat cat movie.
Yeah. I'm done. I'm done.
Now though.
I feel like in a now v though case, women would still lose some rights.
that's a very good.
Well,
point.
no, they'd gain them and then it'd be taken away years later.
Yes.
You know they're trying to launch a national ban.
What wasn't it? State rights that they were fighting for? I
Well,
got
re-
confused.
No, no, peace. That was the original message.
Yeah.
Now it's about everyone.
Now, but the thing is like that's what that's gonna do is it's gonna control your religion if they goes through. It'll never go through.
Well, so there's already been a lawsuit filed. We're so off the rails already, but there's been a lawsuit filed by a Jewish congregation in Florida because restricting abortion is against their religion, and in the Constitution, your religion is protected.
Oh, everybody's gonna become Jewish all of a
I
sudden.
think so.
Did you see I always watch those stupid videos of people interviewing people at like college campuses, and this guy's like, "Call your mom right now, tell her you got a girl pregnant," and he was at BYU.
Oh no!
And his mom, her first response
How do you get
is-
pregnant while docking?
Exactly. So his mom's
Was that the mom's question?
no, she's like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Okay, just tell her to have an abortion. First thing to do."
Nice.
Crazy.
It's not bad.
But I bet you that person voted super Trump.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure. I'm sure this person is a future member of not Parliament but of Senate or
Which
Congress.
goes to prove even Mormons fuck. So,
Yeah.
I
know.
love how this conversation is completely derailed, yet it's probably the most sane conversation we're going to have before we start this topic.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Are the Lions good?
Lions are definitely good.
So I think they have talent. I think
They definitely have talent.
there's an expiration date on the Dan Campbell type of coaching. Like that doesn't last
Yeah.
forever. And he was the Dolphins head coach, so I've seen way too many press conferences of Dan Campbell before he was the head coach of the Lions. Like I'm very familiar with Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
He strikes me as someone who's a very nice and caring man.
Good person.
He's a very player-centered coach.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine him out coaching Bill Belichick. That's the problem, right?
Yeah.
Like, and so,
But, so, to counterpoint,
yeah,
he can be a people person and bring in all his coordinators
Yeah.
to do the heavy lifting,
good
right?
But here's the thing, that's what I thought. But then,
Kind of like a Mike Ditka style.
no, I didn't watch Hard Knocks because, as you guys know, I've never seen a single.
I
second
didn't see
Knocks.
Hard Knocks this year at all.
But from what I found out through Duke is essentially his coaching staff is all former players who are all
But
basically.
most coaching staffs are former players.
Yeah. But these are very much the Dan Campbell type former players.
Yeah, like Deuce Staley.
Including Kelvin Shepard. And this is what he had to say about Jamal Williams.
Jamal Williams, some people are probably like, first of all, what is that on your head pregame? His Pokemon do-rags, his satchels, but when he's able to do that versus somebody to, hey, take that off your head. I don't want you dancing pregame. Well, you're not going to get the same Jamal Williams that pours his heart and soul into the game. So and in turn pours his heart and soul into your team and is one of your best leaders. If you take that away from Jamal, Jamal isn't a leader on this team because then he can't express himself the way he wants to. And like, it's just, man, I've been around that, and that is awful in my opinion. In a workspace, in life, like if you aren't able to be yourself, you're never going to allow that person to ever reach their full potential.
That's a very good point.
So, and that's the thing, again, really player focused. And I you know me, like I'm a dude, super pro player. I love what the Warriors brought to the NBA was they started playing music at practices and started having fun at practice. Because who doesn't want to have fun at work, right? Exactly. Like, why should work be a dreary, terrible place? Yeah. And the NFL, you know, for a long time, and most teams was a no fun league, right? Yeah. So like, I'm on board. I like it. I like what they've done. They're definitely fun to watch. I don't know if it can last.
So the thing is,
or am I just trained by like the Bill Belichick's of the world?
Like when I say something like Sam Darnold sucks, I'll never say that ever because I'll never admit it.
He's
so if
clearly not.
And Mitch Trubisky, if I say he ever sucks, which I'll never say because it just doesn't, he's 500 right now. Do you expect
wins are not a quarterback?
The Steelers.
I'll send you all the metrics.
The Steelers are the most 500 team in the history of the NFL. I mean, the Colts maybe, or anybody in the AFC South.
I think that's more organizational than quarterback.
But that's what I'm saying. So he's really back to my point. You asked, are the Lions good? If I look at a player and I say, okay, is he good? Yes, the person is good, but is he good relatively to the field that he's playing in, right? So the Lions, are they good in the NFC North?
I mean, given that the Bears have attempted 28 passes in 2 weeks, yeah, I think they have a chance to win that division.
I do think they have a chance, especially what we saw. I mean, you're going to talk about it, but it's a decent segue. We're going to talk about what we saw from the Vikings, and it's like I was high on the Vikings at first, and I don't know if it's just Kirk being Kirk, but I can't see the Lions running away with this division, which is weird to me because it's the Lions.
Yeah. Wait. You think the Vikings? I can give you. Fan, yeah, exactly. Yeah. No,
they're always going to be there, though. We just can't talk about them, Eagle. It's just that you have to understand that.
Yeah, but you're actually giving the Lions a chance.
Yeah,
you know what though?
That whole division's wide open to me.
Eagle, what if you?
It's wide open.
What if you gave Aaron Rodgers the weapons the Lions have? Amon-Ra St. Brown might, and I'm gonna do this with Devontae Adams again. I don't know why I keep doing this, but he might be the best receiver who ever played for the Packers. He's so good.
Jordan Nelson?
No, he's better than Jordan by a lot.
Donald Driver?
By a lot.
Those guys were solid NFL players, but look what happened when they left.
Who was the other guy for next to Donald Driver?
There was Randall Cobb, who again,
Randall Cobb.
He's fine. Like,
no, Donald Driver was a little bit before that. There was somebody with Donald Driver, like he had a double.
Greg Jennings.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they had a few good receivers, but Devontae Adams is
Yeah, but exactly when you had Jennings and Driver, you basically had two number twos, right? But Adams is the number one guy.
Jordy Nelson too. I think he had like a 5-6 year span where he was just like lights out. But that's a lot of Rodgers, You
ever notice how everyone goes to the Raiders and then immediately sucks?
Yeah, well, Jordy Nelson went there when he was like 34, like 33. So
Jennings. No, Jennings went to the Vikings actually.
Yeah,
he went to the Vikings. He went somewhere else too after that. I think he went to the Pats for a season too. No, am I wrong?
No, he went. I remember he went to the Vikings. Well, I don't know if he would have gone straight to the Vikings though, because that doesn't seem football-y.
Anyway, as a Bears fan for the next 5 to 6 weeks,
even Charles Woodson did that too.
Packers. Yeah, Charles Woodson went to the Raiders, and he almost won the Super Bowl if it wasn't for the media.
Before we get to...
and yes, the media won the Patriots the Super Bowl that year.
Clearly, it wasn't Tom Brady.
It was 2001. What happened in 2001? 9/11.
Why wouldn't they make the Giants win the Super Bowl?
Because it's the Patriots.
America's team.
The New York Giants.
But not the Giants, Cowboys? They play in New Jersey. It's the
wait a second. No. Aren't the Cowboys America's team?
They are. I have a t-shirt that says they are America's team, but I don't believe it. When your name is the Patriots, like the Montreal Canadiens are Canada's team. Fuck the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Correct, but they're the Canadians.
Exactly.
It's in their name.
So when you're the most patriotic team... And that Jerry Jones, all he did was just use that term. Like, nobody gave them that name.
Correct.
Jerry Jones gave himself the name.
Hey, smart marketing.
I can't
move.
walk around and say, "Hey, Big Dick Terry," and they're like, "Well, it's not true."
I mean, if you say it often enough,
maybe.
you never know.
I guess maybe that's how Peas started.
Yeah. Well, it is.
They're like, "I don't want to call you Peas, but it's Peas though." Hey, I'm Peas.
It's like, well,
You start referring to
pronounce
yourself
my
in
name
third person.
properly, and like, I'll just go with
Yeah,
Peas.
right, Peas is easy.
It's like you with Terry.
I P. I multiple P.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So before we move on to the Vikings, though, I do want to talk about this quote from Dan Campbell talking about how he scouted the Monday night game. Eagle, you want to read this?
Yeah, so he was asked, how do you scout the Vikings-Eagles game on Monday Night Football? And he goes, normally like any fan would. I fell over backwards in my chair, drunk after the second half. I couldn't even take notes anymore. Woke up, couldn't read my notes, but I'm back in this morning, took some aspirin, and we're good.
Winner in life.
I want that to hold the Super Bowl trophy.
Winner in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want that to succeed.
Yeah.
I mean, in his defense, it was the only way to watch that game and not want to kill yourself.
That's a very good point.
Yeah. Kirk Cousins is probably wanting to kill himself in film rest of the week.
Yep.
So I'm a guy very driven by metrics, as you know. Like,
I just want to say that last week I said Kirk Cousins. I'm like, I like him.
okay,
I still do.
Yeah.
But I just don't want him to play primetime games.
yeah, like, but well, if you go to the playoffs, you need to, like the Super Bowl.
Not necessarily. You could play one.
The Super Bowl.
It's not really a primetime game if you think about it.
It's a night during prime.
That's the worst excuse I've ever
the
heard.
most
not a
prime
real-
time.
It's not a primetime game though.
What's more prime than the time that people are all watching this one game?
No, because it's not primetime. Primetime is Sunday night, Monday night.
No,
Those are the primetime games.
it's every night 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. It's
No.
prime time.
Primetime is primetime. Sunday night football is primetime. It's
No.
not Sunday night football when you play the Super Bowl. It's Super Bowl. It's different.
But it's also Sunday night.
No, people perform differently in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
compared to-
usually-
I don't-
usually
I don't
worse.
understand- hold on. I don't understand your argument. Is your
Yeah.
argument that the Super Bowl is not between 7 and 10?
it's not.
It's
I
not
don't-
prime time. The Super Bow's
Listen,
not prime time.
I have this thing about the Super Bowl is I just don't really care that much about it. Unless the Cowboys are
It's
in.
because the Cowboys are
Bears,
never there.
Bears.
Or
For the
Bears.
next 5 weeks.
Yeah, sorry. It's because the Bears are never
The
there.
Bears are never there. The last
since-
time I remember watching the game was 2003, the Bears against the Colts.
Or was it the Saints with the Reggie Bush team?
No, when,
No, they
when was
advanced-
Rex Grossman against the Colts?
They beat. You're right. They beat the Saints and they advanced.
Yes.
And lost to the Colts.
Rex Grossman.
Yeah, against
Devin
Peyton,
Hester.
against Peyton Manning. Who would have thought? It's a shocker the Colts won that game.
But I was never big on Super Bowl. Like even you look at the fans at the Super Bowl itself, they're always just like they're just random fans from all over the place that won tickets, you know.
Or what's his name with the NFL hat?
NFL
The dude from Parks and Rec.
Chris Pratt?
No. Famous for wearing the NFL hat.
from Youngblood. What's
Yeah.
his name?
And Perkins?
Not John Stamos,
No.
but he looks like him a bit.
Eagle. Anyhow,
Who are we talking
the
about?
guy with the NFL hat.
He plays in Parks and Rec. It's not Rob Lowe, not John Stamos. Oh my God, it's gonna fucking kill
It
me.
is Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe, that's it.
It is Rob Lowe.
Yeah, Rob Lowe.
Oh, I was thinking Robert Downey Jr. It is Rob Lowe. I always mix those three.
Well,
up.
because they're from the Brat Pack, right?
Oh, that's what it
thing,
is.
Yeah.
Okay, because they look alike.
Yeah.
Robert.
They
Downey
all
and
came
Robert-
up at the
yeah,
same
and John
time.
Stamos too. They all look alike.
Yeah.
Good looking man.
But like, I never care about fans. Like, I'm not there in the stadium. What do I care? I'm watching
Sure.
the game.
I'm just more.
I'm
excited.
making way too many bets.
I'm more excited for the conference championships than I am the Super Bowl. I'm more excited for like Monday Night Football than I am the Super Bowl.
Monday Night Football's terrible.
But not though.
It's been the worst games. Look at the schedule this week.
Oh, okay. Talking about scheduling wise,
You can
yeah.
see the bid the least on games because they're terrible.
Also, it's on ESPN, so.
Yeah. Well, that's it.
fine.
They had the lowest bid, right? The the thing is though, like I'm a dude. Like I like the math and science behind all this stuff. Like
Nerd.
I am. I'm a sports nerd. I love that stuff. There's not a reason that a player should be worse at night, right?
No.
But he objectively is. What is it? Why is he worse at night? I don't understand
Maybe
it.
you have too much time to prepare, and because when you play Sunday morning, like you wake
But he's
up.
bad Thursday nights too.
You wake up. No, but just the whole thing. It's Thursday night, right? So you wake up on Sunday. You're playing at 1 o'clock. You're playing at 1 o'clock.
So you have like your routine, like your 4-hour thing or whatever.
Yeah,
it is.
you wake up at
you
6
do,
in the morning.
take
You
your
get to
shit.
the arena by 7. You get your stretch in, physio work, do whatever you got to do. You're doing that twice on night games because you're doing it in the morning and then you're doing it again.
So
it
once you
kinda
just wake up at night.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is you delay when you're going to go in. So you're going around 12, 1 o'clock, And then, but your whole routine is thrown off.
Yeah, maybe he's a
completely.
creature of habit.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
NFL players in general are, right?
Of course, you
that's
have
the
to be,
thing.
right? Because everything is so scheduled
Yeah.
in the NFL. You have to be a routinely and organized person.
Yeah, it's hard to watch. Like him throwing balls at Darius Slay like he was the receiver.
Also, Darius Slay acting like he's like this. All of a sudden, he's back.
Yeah,
But like all those balls were thrown right to you.
right to him.
Like,
Well, to be fair, he ran with Justin Jefferson, which
yeah,
is
but he caught one in the end zone that was just like right to him, and he started like saying, "Don't match me. You gotta cover me." I was like, relax, man.
Yeah.
Like I could have done that,
I mean, you wouldn't have been there. Is the point, though?
but I could have done it.
Yes, if you were already standing there before the play, and Kirk Cousins is like, that looks like a nice
yeah,
guy.
that guy right there. Let me give him the ball.
He's open.
Yeah,
He's open.
he looks
But you
good.
know what? If it was a night game, Kirk Cousins might just do that.
Yeah, definitely.
Kyler Murray leads an improbable comeback, and as he scurries into the end zone,
Wait. Did he lead an incredible comeback, or did they shit the bed in that game?
Yeah, I think it's.
I mean,
I
the
think
two
it's
things
latter on
the
that
two
one.
things can be true. He was
Also
good.
true.
He was good in the fourth quarter of that game. He was
Yeah.
good. He was bad most of the game.
Well, that 2-point conversion, I'm like, where's the pressure?
He ran
Two
80
2-point
He
conversions.
ran
2-point conversion.
the last one. He ran 84 yards before
Yeah.
running in for a 2-yard 2-point conversion. He ran 84 yards.
That's crazy.
He ran more yards behind line scrimmage that play than Najee Harris has beyond line scrimmage.
Fucking
for the
Raiders.
season.
Raiders gonna Raider. Brown's gonna Brown.
Yeah.
Just
We'll get on the Browns in a second.
holy fuck, are
Yeah.
these guys bad? But you know what? I'm gonna say this: a broken play like that, you're not gonna rush too many guys because then it'll leave guys open in the end zone.
Yeah.
So that's why you got to keep your 4-man rush, and I understand that, but they just
And you
couldn't
gotta
get
contain.
anything. Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
contain, and they just couldn't do it. It was just that one play I think that made the Raiders look bad, but overall they played pretty good that game.
Yeah.
Realistically.
But it's so
Yeah,
he,
including the one where Derek Carr missed Devontae Adams right in
there
the
was
middle
that
of the
one,
field.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then the back-to-back fumbles,
Yeah.
essentially, to lose the game. Yeah, they played really
All,
good.
all individual errors.
Hey,
as a team,
as
though,
good as Kyle Murray was, Kyler Murray was for a quarter, the Raiders were good for 3 quarters. And
Sure.
then of course Kyler Murray goes to celebrate with fans and gets slapped in the face.
Why? Yeah, why did he get slapped?
I think it's a missed high five, but the police
Oh,
are
okay.
investigating it.
Ah,
And that's what if you know one thing about Las Vegas police is they'll get to the bottom of crimes.
yeah. eh?
No,
Fuck.
they never do. They have the highest unsolved murder per capita in the world.
For real?
It's Las Vegas.
Fuck, it's a great. You might as
We're-
well be a fucking public defender over there, man.
Seriously,
Yeah,
yeah,
Make
it's
a
an
lot
easy
of
job.
money. Yeah, you just fucking win every case.
Yeah,
Settle
because whatever happens in Vegas stays buried in Vegas.
stays attached to a cement block at the bottom of the ocean, at the bottom of the Aria pool.
yeah. Or Mandalay Bay, fit the Sharks.
Yeah, or just buried under T-Mobile Arena.
So the for the first time ever, the Jets and Dolphins were featured during the witching hour, on NFL Red Zone, because last time both teams were relevant, there was no NFL Red Zone. It was the strangest feeling.
Who are the undefeated teams in the NFL now? The
The
Giants.
Dolphins are one of them. The Giants are another one. That's the Chiefs, obviously.
The Chiefs. Yeah. I think it was only like 4 teams.
There's not many. There's a lot of 1-on-1.
Yeah, I like it. Parody.
So it's the Dolphins, the Bills,
Bills,
the
Bills,
oh yeah, the
Chiefs,
Bills,
the Eagles,
Eagles, yes.
the Giants,
Yeah.
the Buccaneers, and that's it.
Fucking rights.
And the Buccaneers haven't even looked good.
Yeah.
The Dolphins were losing for 3 quarters. They were down 35-14 at the beginning of the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And that's an undefeated team.
And just wait till Justin Fields really starts picking up the offense.
Yeah.
Till he starts throwing 4 times a game.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, and
That
then
would be
maybe
great.
you'll see a little bit of a run going there. Maybe he'll go like 6-1.
I think they need to see less of a run, more of a pass.
No, we're talking about like a run
Yes.
of wins.
I understood.
Just run streak of wins.
Yeah.
and then it'll be perfect timing for Dak to come back and then do the same thing for the Cowboys, and I'm just winning all year.
Yeah, it'd be
See?
a good time. I would love. I have so much of Dak in fantasy. I'd love for him to come back.
So much of Dak. I have all of them.
Also,
You wait
just-
on quarterbacks, eh?
Quick thing, now that I'm looking at the standings, Jacksonville's probably going to win the AFC South.
Yeah.
That's scary.
That's
have-
scary.
Yeah.
So heading into the season, they had
That division.
what was rated the easiest schedule heading into the season.
If you don't have the easiest schedule and you're in the AFC South every year, then
Yeah,
the system's broken.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the system must be broken at that.
absolutely. Because you play also if your division was the worst, you play the NFC's worst division also.
Oh, that's how it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought it was it doesn't work that way. It's a rotation.
It's a rotation.
But
in
it
your
also
own
works that way.
conference.
Depending on where you finished in your division,
Yeah.
you play other people who finished in that same spot in their
In their
division.
division.
In
Yeah,
the
but
matchups.
the
the
Cowboys-
rotation is still there.
Example: the Cowboys NFC East play against the AFC North, right?
Yeah, but the last year the Cowboys finished first. So they will play the team who finished first last time around, essentially.
Yeah, but they play every team in that division.
Okay,
Yeah.
but if they play every team, it doesn't matter. But only there's crossovers.
With
that
the
specifically
spare
target the same
games?
The
seed.
spare games is you play the other first
Yeah.
place team from the
But
other
there's,
in
if
your
I'm not
conference.
mistaken,
yes.
if I'm not mistaken, the other conferences, the other divisions are matched. The cross conference divisions are matched,
Yeah,
and the ones in your division are random or
Okay.
like a
That's
cycle.
what it is.
Cleveland Browns fans.
Browns.
I didn't even include the picture because
The fact that they're called the Browns is perfect because there's shit. The
And-
shittiest people in the world.
and not only that, they're named after the egocentric owner of the team, whose name was Paul Brown.
Oh yes, yes.
And so, like, they still consider themselves the center of the universe where they're untouched by anything. Like, look, you can love your team, but you need to celebrate, like, crime.
Yeah.
Crime.
So for context, this is the tailgate where people basically had, was it like a doll or something, like a mannequin set up on a table with a little towel covering up the genitals with a sign that says it's not a crime or something like that to get a happy ending.
But first of all, it is. Second of all, what was found in the case? Because if you actually read the filing by Judge Robinson, it says that he was likely guilty of these things, that there was wrongdoing that had occurred, and that the punishment was simply based on previous NFL punishments. So because they've mishandled it in the past, because again, it's a unionized environment.
So the precedent
Yeah, so the precedent exists that you've never suspended somebody
that
for
you
a
don't
full
do
season.
anything for sexual assault.
But that's it. So because the NFL's been trash with it before, they're forced to continue to be trash. So Goodell extends the punishment. And, like, fine, it's 11 games. There's no amount of games that makes us feel good. There's no amount of games where it's like, you know what, that's
There's
enough
never
games.
enough unless he's completely kicked off.
And
Completely.
even then, it doesn't help the people that were affected, right?
Exactly.
But do you need to celebrate it? Do you need to celebrate it? Do you need to say ridiculousness like it's not a crime when it, like, if this happened to any of their daughters, any of their moms, any of their friends, any of them, would they be okay with that? Like,
No.
I don't understand.
That's the thing is when you automatically go to a joke to defend a guy you've never met, to defend a guy that never even really meant anything to you until this offseason.
Until he's wearing your laundry.
Exactly. But it's typical of some parts of the United States, and I'll say that very.
And some parts of this
openly.
country as well.
I mean, yeah, for sure.
If you drive 45 minutes any part of outside of Montreal, for example, in any direction.
But it's crazy how they just, like, I saw people, like, they have jerseys, full jerseys, and it says rubbing and tugging on the back of them. And, like, you're spending money on that.
Yeah.
When I buy a T-shirt, I'm rethinking it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I get to the cash, I'm like, do I really want this T-shirt?
Because it says rubbing and tugging?
No, just in general.
I know.
If it's a plain T-shirt, and if it says rubbing and tugging, then I'll probably buy it because it's a joke.
Yeah. But it's
when
not
you're
celebrating
exactly.
Deshaun Watson.
When you're going out of your way to put rubbing and tugging on yours and hers jerseys,
Yeah.
and the stadium allows you to do that, it means that there's no repercussion. There's nothing that they're basically ignoring everybody that ever spoke.
Well, no, it's because they did an
these women.
in-depth investigation. They took it very seriously. They found no problems
16
with it.
days.
So that way your fans
But
can
they
do what they want. We
did.
don't
But
care.
the problem is they did find a problem with it on top of that.
Yeah.
It says so. It says so.
But imagine the team is like, listen, you guys can't wear these jerseys and stuff like that, and then everybody's like, oh, it's cool. Then the other guys come out and be like, it's hypocritical because you signed this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Oh,
if you don't like it, then you got to get rid of him too.
The implication that makes me uncomfortable is that it suggests massage therapists are hookers. And then it suggests hookers also aren't women and deserve no rights.
I had a massage therapist frequently, and she was a woman,
Yeah.
and I never had the urge to whip out my penis.
Not
Once.
I've had two.
I must be in the minority.
I've had two. One just no longer is in my area.
Yeah.
And the new one, who happens to be female, again, no issues. I don't have 66
Yeah.
different massage therapists.
I actually have the opposite sensation when I go to masseuses, essentially.
Correct.
Where if it's a woman, I'm like, let me just make sure I'm as professional as possible.
Yeah, you wear tight-
nothing happens.
You wear
here.
tight underwear. You know, you wear tight underwear. You don't want it to even. I'm not saying that to hide the erection. it's just to hide the bulge. You don't want the woman to feel uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And that's just basically, even if it's a guy, you don't want the guy to feel uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't want to like.
It's a
shame him,
professional-
Yeah,
Look
exactly.
Look at my junk.
Especially me. I'm walking around saying I'm Big Dick Terry.
Yeah, you walk into the massage with a T-shirt that says "Big Dick
Big Dick
Terry,"
Terry, rubbing and
rubbing and tugging on the back. Immediately call the police.
Yeah, it just fucking instantly.
Unrelated story. The NBA, in the NBA, the Suns and also WNBA, the Phoenix Suns and Phoenix Mercury owner Robert Sarver has decided to sell the team.
Decided is a word.
Yeah.
Well, so here's I couldn't sleep last night. I did an obsessive amount of research as
Nice.
I'm want to do. He apparently is a very petty human. He's a very Daniel Snyder like owner.
Yeah, like if he said it, how come I can't say it?
He
Like he's talking to a teenager
well, that's
kind of thing.
he's
right?
literally he wrote that in the league memo.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah, we talked about it last week.
Yeah.
But he also he basically said like, you know, if people start looking into me, like I'm gonna like let everyone know what everyone else in the league said, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
He's also one of the poorer owners in the NBA.
Poorer?
Yeah, he's one of the poorest owners. He's one of the old families that bought it when teams weren't $2 billion kind of thing. It's kind of like a family business. You know, he's rich. He's still a billionaire, but he's not Steve Ballmer.
He's not
Like Steve Ballmer, he's as rich as like the next 20 owners in the NBA. Right?
Yeah,
like,
well, I mean, Steve Ballmer is one of the richest guys in the world.
on Earth. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Mark Cuban also.
yeah, he's not from that ilk. He's one of the older owners. So, for him, the $10 million fine.
He's
hurts.
been here. He's been there since like since Steve Nash. So?
Yeah. Oh,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
A lot of the things that they talked about date back to the time during that era when it was the first time the Suns were like hip and cool and sparkly, basically.
Yeah.
So
By the way, I saw Steve Nash's stats. The 2 years he won the MVP.
yeah,
Weird.
yeah, weird, right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I was very pro Nash before.
Look, I love Steve Nash.
Merp.
Yeah,
That's basically what I can say about those stats.
yeah.
Merp.
But
He did have a huge effect on his team, though.
absolutely. But if
But
you
that's
judge
everything.
value and not the most effective season,
Yeah.
then yes, he was the most valuable player.
Yeah.
But anyway, so getting back to Sarver, he also it was only once PayPal said they're pulling their sponsorship, and
I mean,
he's a
you needed it to happen, right?
yeah, like at that point, like, is it now worthwhile monetarily to own the Suns, right? Like, or is it, am I making a fraction of what I was making? I can't hang out. I can't hang out at the games. I can't take clients to the locker room. I can't have
Like,
all the
what's
perks.
worth it? Yeah. Like, what's the point? You're just
What's the
owning it
point?
to own it. Yeah.
And
You're
at
not
that
having
point, you
fun
can
with
buy
it
another
anymore.
company, right?
Yeah,
Like,
you're not having fun with it anymore.
Exactly.
There's no point.
So,
Yeah.
but he's following the playbook that we're seeing constantly now. Instantly, it's cancel culture.
Yeah.
It's because
It
you
has to
can't
be,
say
right?
anything anymore. You can't do anything anymore. When did that become like? I feel like if you just said I'm sorry,
Yeah.
maybe it doesn't work, but at least you don't come off like a
Like a
douchebag.
complete douche. But the thing is like, you know the rules going into this, right?
Yeah.
So you can't cry cancel culture when you obviously and you admittedly broke the rule.
Well, he admitted to nothing. In fact, when ESPN broke the story, he said he would never use the N-word in writing or verbally, and then the memo was found.
No,
by
but that's
the
what I'm
third
saying.
party. Like,
I
so he's
mean,
clearly lying.
I mean, not admittedly, but now he
Yeah.
has to admit
Now
it.
he
Kind
has
of,
to,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? It's proven that he did break these rules. So if you're if the league was so important to you and you want to be here and all this shit, then why go ahead and purposely break the rules? You know the consequences. You can't cry after. You can't cry cancel culture when you know the rule.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like cancel culture is not when you do something against your corporation, they fire you. Cancel culture is when you go on Twitter and you say a joke and then everybody all of a sudden cancels you.
But so here's the thing: is people
Like me.
people are conflating an action in this case being quote unquote canceled. Like Harvey Weinstein was not canceled. The things he did were illegal.
Yeah.
And therefore those actions were canceled.
Like
right?
Don
Like,
Sterling didn't do anything illegal, but he did
Yeah.
something that
highly inappropriate.
Yeah, highly inappropriate.
The owners have a code of governance that they have to follow. that's part of it.
Yeah.
It's also not 1950 anymore.
Nope.
You can't pretend like it is.
And you can't be raised on a farm anymore.
Exactly. So,
But I mean, the other way to look at it is if it was an employee that did that, they get fired for conduct unbecoming to the league or
Yeah.
for the organization.
Yeah,
But
like
if the
imagine
owner
if it's a
does it,
video,
the
if it's a
same
video
rules should
guy,
apply.
or
Imagine last year when Jamison Crowder told 2 years ago when he called Luka Doncic a bitch ass white boy.
Yeah.
And then the next game he went and apologized to him.
wasn't Jamison Crowder? It was
Jay Crowder.
Jay Crowder. Yeah, Jamison Crowder is a slot receiver.
I was gonna say Jay Crowder, same person. Both of
Yeah.
them, same person.
They look so different.
And Jay Crowder is a much bigger human being. And he went and apologized like the game after, whatever. Imagine Luka turned back to him and said, "Fuck you, bitch ass black boy," and he would have been fired. He would have been cut, or something would have
Probably
happened.
not cut. There would have been massive,
Something would have happened.
ramifications. And
If you belong to the NBA, like Sarver belongs to the NBA and Luka belongs to the NBA, then you have to follow by the rules, and
So-
it's the same way.
but here's an important thing. This was unfortunately Adam Silver, who's very rarely had a bad public moment, had a bad public moment at the beginning of this when we were talking to him about it, and he's like, "Look, I don't have the power to take away his team. It's just the way it is. Owners have privileges." But the thing is, when you talked about this last week, if you're the owner of the team, you don't get to have the same camaraderie because you get to be the owner of the team because you have the privilege
That's
of
good.
owning
Yeah.
the team. You don't.
I
when
listened
you-
to the show last week, and I was listening to my argument about like how like it might be okay to, if the guy's all right with it, to ask if he shaves his balls.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, I mean, listen, if you feel like you can get away with it, then say it. But there's going to be a consequence.
But there might be a consequence.
There's
Like,
gonna-
know that there can be, like, again, it's not something that's illegal.
Like
it's,
I can
it's
say it to
inappropriate.
Eagle. I can say it to Eagle.
But,
He's
but
not
so
gonna
like
sue.
again, the
You shave your balls?
Yeah, of course.
I trim. I don't shave.
but the three of us
Silky
are
smooth.
on the same but the three of us are on the same level of the company, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I guess.
if we just hire an intern and during the interview be like, "You
Alex,
shave your nuts?"
let's call Alex right now and ask him if
Actually,
he
yeah,
shaves his balls.
him it doesn't matter. We can afford to lose him.
Can we call Alex and ask him if he shaves his balls?
Knowing the way he maintains his face, probably not.
So like once a month.
It's swampy. He's in
He-
Texas.
When he cleans up though, he's a cutie, Alex.
I know.
It's weird.
Dude, just take care of yourself a
Just do
little
it like
bit.
every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know? I mean,
Make
I
a-
can't-
make
I
a
can't
barber
knock
do
it
it.
because I never do it.
Make
ever.
a barber do it. Like, I don't do this myself.
Do your
You
balls?
crazy? Yeah.
That a thing? Like a balls barber?
I mean, I had one, but unfortunately, some things happened. And now I have 66 of them.
Hey,
But no, like, I heard
Having a balls barber is not illegal.
I heard,
it shouldn't be.
but having 66 of them would be inappropriate.
Shouldn't be illegal.
But I heard ESPN's Dominic Foxworth talk about it, and one of the things he was talking about was, he said, people keep saying like, why doesn't this player speak up? Why doesn't this player speak up? It's like, why would it be on the employees to have to take a stand?
Yeah.
Like, if it's important, then everyone should take a stand.
Whoever received the email should take a
Yeah,
stand,
the
basically, right?
the league should be taking a stand.
Of
The
course,
other
yeah.
owners should be taking a stand.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So like, and
just
that's
blame everything on Dolan.
that's the other thing.
No, just blame
How
everything on
much
him.
do the Knicks wish that there was some of this
Yeah,
with
they're like,
Nolan?
oh yes, an email league. Dolan.
Can you say
Dolan,
something
Dolan.
inappropriate?
Control F Dolan. Fucking shit.
Can you just like jump in the shower with me real quick?
Hey, I'm gonna write a question on this paper. Just read it to me.
Do you shave your
Do
nuts?
you shave? Fuck you. Shit.
Got
So
me.
who's going
Cancel
to
culture.
who's going to buy this team? Is this Jeff Bezos' opportunity to get into a
No.
sports league?
No, he wants Washington.
He does want Washington, but he could own two separate teams in two separate cities
It's two different
two
leagues.
separate leagues.
in two separate leagues.
So yeah,
He
I don't see why not. But is like
Or you can use one
So there's
to
a minority-
leverage the other. Think about it.
There was one minority owner. I believe his name's. I don't remember his name. I don't want to say his name wrong. There was one minority owner who was pushing a lot, like pushing the league to investigate this and whatever. But he's not going to buy the team,
No.
most likely because he makes more money because now the team is valued at $2 billion compared to when he bought in.
oh fuck.
So he makes more money on the sale than Sarver keeping the team.
Who's the owner? The ownership group for the Coyotes, Eagle.
They don't have that kind of money, I don't think.
No, I'm not saying
For
they
the
should
Coyotes
buy.
or the NHL?
Oh no, that yeah, I knew that. I actually knew that. Yeah, so that's.
What
so
about Jeffrey Loria?
when was their
God,
the
no.
Phoenix Suns? When was their stadium built? Was it new?
I don't remember.
The Coyotes?
No, the Suns.
The Coyotes don't have a stadium.
Because if the owner,
Like, they don't have a stadium anymore.
because if the new person can come in and buy the Coyotes, the Suns, and the Mercury,
Yeah.
that would be pretty cool.
Yeah. It's
Bezos.
Yeah, Elon
but that's-
Musk.
well, what's
It is
interesting
Phoenix,
is
actually.
What's-
Yeah, that makes sense.
what's interesting is doesn't Elon Musk own PayPal?
He started it and he sold it a long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because I was like, is this Elon Musk making his play?
Imagine he texted the guy.
He called his
Leave
buddy.
right now.
I mean, this is the guy who basically ran a pump and dump scheme with Twitter, right? So
Yeah.
I can totally see him pulling this.
100%. He texted the guy on the side. He's like, listen, bro, just this is easy out. Easy out. Just leave.
I can't see 24 owners voting yes on Elon Musk.
Yeah, there's probably a
Just with personality, like
I don't think
Mark Cuban was already a risk for them, you know.
It's true, and Mark Cuban is like
Yeah.
he's like a real owner.
And they refused to let Mark Cuban into the Major League Baseball. So
That's
goes to
crazy.
show you.
But Major League Baseball, all
They're
the owners,
the most. Yeah, they're the
all
most.
the owners for these fucking league is unbelievable.
Ime Udoka is facing a possible suspension for violating a code of conduct. This broke yesterday. He allegedly had inappropriate conduct, a consensual but inappropriate conduct with a female employee.
Like an
Okay, wait.
assistant
So
coach?
I'm curious as to what that means
So
because
he had relations with an employee for which he is directly responsible for.
Oh, so like an immediate. Well, what's his role?
He's the head coach.
Okay,
of
he is the head
Celtics,
coach. Okay,
yeah.
I thought he was an assistant.
No, he's the
But
head coach.
then
Okay.
my question is there any proof that relationship led to preferential treatment towards her or unpreferential treatment
So-
towards someone else
So
instead?
no, but I mean maybe I don't know that, but because it broke like last night at like midnight.
It's almost like
And-
Tim Donaghy saying, "I bet on games, but I never
But
fix
I-
games."
Yeah,
And then
I bet on them, but I
similarly,
didn't have control of the
yeah,
outcome.
yeah.
do the Celtics or NBA have a policy
The Celtics-
against specifically this?
So every team has a code of conduct policy. The Celtics have a policy about it, and
That you can't or that you have to disclose it?
that you cannot.
Like straight up?
Okay, so
I
then
believe
that's-
that-
Because a lot of places they'll be like, you can do it, but you have to
Yeah, like
tell
the
HR
office.
I-
that this
I-
is
from what I-
happening.
like Dunder Mifflin.
It's true. They need to file the paperwork with Toby.
Like-
Every week we have an office reference. Literally every show.
Gabe.
Send it to Gabe.
That's such a good scene.
Um,
When he's like, "What's her last name?" Well, I'll tell you tomorrow because she'll be screaming it tonight. She's gonna scream her own last name tonight. Yeah.
but Aaron doesn't even like sex. He said it's like being tackled by a skeleton. The
Gabe,
thing
underrated.
the thing here though, is I don't know exactly the policy, but from what I read last night again at midnight, the code of conduct says that you can't date someone can't date can't have relations with their superior,
Yeah.
basically.
So Eagle,
and
I
vice
can't
versa.
fuck your ass.
But we're not
Again-
superiors.
You guys is fine. Alex the intern.
Oh, we can't fuck Alex's ass.
Correct.
Shit.
Yeah. Next, maybe we gotta promote
Wait,
it
can
first.
he fuck our ass though?
Still no.
Still no, because it's you going up you can't climb up the ladder.
Wait, did we make him write the bylaws? Because then,
No.
all
There's
right,
no way.
thank
out.
God.
Yeah.
So the
I would love for Duke to write her bylaws.
that would be the best. Be one page. It'd be terrible.
Just don't do it.
Don't do stupid shit.
Don't be
Stupid
dicks.
shit.
Don't be dicks.
Leave me alone. Fuck.
So there was this quote put up by Stephen A. Smith, which I found kind of curious, but we'll play it here.
Being done to a brother.
Oh, I saw this.
Because I got news for you, America. There's plenty of white folks in professional sports
I can't hear anything.
that's doing their
He goes, no
thing.
way for you to do this in preview.
And I say that not complimentary. I don't see the
Right?
information out about them. Why are we talking about this now? We got to talk about it because it's the news. Ain't none of our damn business unless you fire him. But if you keep him, it's none of our business. It should have never been put out there by the Celtics organization. And don't tell me you didn't do it, because you absolutely did it, because news reporters got it. So it emanated out of Boston. Somebody ain't in L.A. or Utah or something leaking this stuff about the Boston Celtics.
Right.
This is on y'all. You shouldn't have been out here. That's what I have to say. Ain't that being done to a...
He's different.
Basically,
Really?
Yeah.
I find he's screaming.
No,
Like
I,
always.
no, he's more angry now.
Yeah, well,
more
he-
serious.
He's getting older and more angry.
Yeah.
so is he insinuating that someone in the Celtics organization wants Udoka out, or that there's what I'll describe as a racist
So there's two things.
environment happening there?
I
I
mean,
mean,
he's
it's
saying-
Boston after all.
I think what he's saying. is
There's
that,
two parts, but go ahead.
Is that it happens a lot, and when the first time we hear it from what happens with a black guy, it's all over the media,
Yeah.
and it happens so often with other people, and for the most part they're white, and that's what he's saying. He's like, we never hear about it. He's like, but now all of a sudden it's a black guy, we're hearing about it.
So, I look. I think if it's
I can't jump on this one.
if it's inappropriate, it's inappropriate, right?
Yeah.
Look, do black coaches get treated differently than white coaches? Statistically, we know that's the case. We know they have a shorter leash. They don't get to keep their jobs as long. They get paid less on average. We know all this stuff. This came out when we were looking at
imagine going 8-1 and losing your job.
Yeah. It happens. Or being set up to take the Houston Texans job, doing better than anyone expected, and then losing your job. Like we know this stuff happens, right? So like that's one part of it. I don't know if that's the case here. The one thing I will say that is curious to Stephen A. Smith's point, and this is Stephen A. Smith actually, like people know him as a caricature, but he's a journalist first, right? The way the stuff is leaked is by the source or by the team. So it's like the player and the agent, for example, or the team. That's the only way that information gets. It's not like there's a journalist hiding in the closet, right?
It's not like Woj is hiding in the fucking in the training room.
Although if it's Woj, it might be the case.
It might be the
but no, it's so I can't imagine Udoka would leak this about himself because he's married.
Yeah.
So it has to be from the team. Why would they leak this? They were a couple of wins away from an NBA championship this year.
It's so weird.
He was a great coach.
So
the adjustments he made against the Heat, the adjustments he made against the Warriors, both excellent. It didn't work because he didn't have the guns to keep up with
But
the
if it came
the
out
Warriors,
of if it came out from the Boston Herald and stuff, it means it had to have been substantiated, which means that like somebody had some sort of proof.
And the team is investigating it, right?
Yeah,
And
so
potentially
it's like
suspending him. So
why is it leaked?
Yeah.
They want to make themselves
How
look better.
how is this not handled internally? Like, hey, he's taking a year off to spend time with family.
Yeah. None of that.
He has a back issue,
Out in the open.
anxiety, whatever.
He's on the Masked Singer. Something.
He's on the Masked Singer. Him and Tom Brady are gonna do a duet.
They just said fuck this shit. But
It's strange.
At the end of the day, if he knew he was breaking a rule, back to my previous point, then he has to face some
to me,
sort of
it's a
consequence.
separate. It's two separate conversations. Whether or not he deserves punishment. Look, if that's the rule, that's the rule.
Yeah.
Now, aside from that, why it leaked to me is I can't
figure it out.
Maybe like we'll find out more stuff. Like maybe pictures were leaked, for example. Maybe the team was blackmailed with pictures. Like we don't know.
There's no reason why, like you said, there's no reason why the player, the coach or the agent would leak it because he's married and it only makes him look bad. There's no reason why the team would leak it because there's nothing. They haven't made a decision on it yet. They're still investigating it. There's really no point to doing it.
Yeah, strange.
It's very strange. But
hopefully we'll get more clarity on it soon.
Boston.
Eagle, hot sauce bets. We need to start paying off these bets. By the way,
I did.
You did? You went on the socials?
Yeah, I did it right before the episode, and I told you to fuck yourself.
Oh, I missed it. Damn it. I haven't seen
You
it.
can watch it on the way home.
Great.
In
I'll
your
do that.
Uber ride.
I
All
will.
right, we got the hot sauce bets going on. So last week, Peas, you were victorious by picking the Chiefs to cover.
Yeah.
So
You were winning 10 points. No, you picked the Chargers +4
Oh yeah, he's right. Sorry,
because they were winning by 10 at the time.
my bad.
Go for
So this week we have the Steelers playing the Browns. The
my God,
Browns
we're
are favored at -4.5.
Am I picking?
I'm gonna give this one to Big Dick Terry.
Yeah,
to pick
Big Dick
from.
Terry. You know what I'm doing?
Is this a penis measuring
It's
contest?
in Cleveland, -4.5.
It's in Cleveland, -4.5.
But you gotta define why he's MVP though of the show.
Yeah.
Because he's
Because of the Big Dick Terry
Yeah,
time
'cause Big
callback.
Dick
That was a
Terry.
good one.
So it's a dick measuring
It was
contest.
a
I
good-
knew it.
Yeah. I mean, I'll win all the time.
but he loses, so it's more like a consolation prize.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like you just take the popsicle, take a candy when you go to the dentist. It's like, yeah, here's a candy for like the shittiest kid there.
Here's a candy, so you come back soon and we rip your teeth out.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna go with my boy Mitch. I think Mitch is gonna get her done. +4. I'll take the +4 Steelers in the division against the shitty ass Browns any day of the week.
Do I have to pick the Browns?
Yeah, I have to pick the Browns -4.5.
You piece of shit.
Oh,
I
fuck
fucking
you.
hate you. Well, if I'm going to choose the Cleveland Browns, I might as well do it while they don't have a despicable human at quarterback.
That's a very good point.
So I'm riding with Jacoby Brissett, baby. They're going to run it down Pittsburgh's throat. Pittsburgh is missing the Watt brother that they have.
As long as Chubb doesn't run into the end zone.
Chubb's going to be all over. He's laying that Chubb all over the end zone.
All right, so you're going Chubbs.
Yeah.
You're
Going hunting for Chubb.
You're going Chubbs. I'm going Steelers. Thursday Night Football hot sauce bet tonight. The
Let's
game's
do it.
starting in like 10 minutes, so we're good.
Yeah. Please put it up during the next show, Eagle. I don't care what Iggy says.
Perfect. All right, that brings us to our rapid fire for this week. We got 6 of them today, boys. Our first one is, you had me at coach. Ted Lasso, Coach Beard, and AFC Richmond are set to make their debut in FIFA 23.
Debut.
Here's the clip.
He doesn't do things conventionally, but then again, none of the great managers do. He's proven he belongs in the game.
He didn't know a thing about football, but that didn't matter.
He's someone you just can't help but root for.
He knows how to block out the noise.
He's a great manager and an even better man. And if you tell him I said that, I will brain you.
He's from the show again. I haven't seen it. I really want to watch it. Excellent.
I'm a man coach.
Me too. I used to go to a hairdresser.
A tremendous strike out of this one. Well, it was a risky challenge. Oh yes, wonderful goal.
EA Sports. I'm in the game. Oh, did I sound like the guy?
Yeah,
you
you sounded like the guy, Ted.
You think Jason Sudeikis ever thought he would be in FIFA?
No, 0%.
Oh my god.
So since we both had a man crush on him, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna pay for a cameo of Jason Sudeikis and ask him which one of us he'd rather take out on a date.
That's a good one. I'm down for that.
We both ask him.
I'm really down.
Whatever
for
it
that.
costs, I'm down to split it with you.
I'm really down. Yeah, let's do it.
Side note: do you guys know what the fuck happened with him and Olivia Wilde and everything? Because that
I
divorce got
think-
nasty, right?
I think.
I remember.
I think he finally heard the John Mayer song and it was like, "Yo, he's coming for her."
What happened was that he sent her divorce papers.
Yeah.
But he didn't do it. Like, it wasn't him that sent it.
It was while she was on stage at Comic-Con.
Yeah, it was while she was on stage. So the person that served her knew she was on stage, walked up to her.
Yeah, but
and
apparently that's because she's been like avoiding him or trying to not get it or
What
whatever
she
it
was
was.
say-
So
yeah,
like,
exactly.
they
And
ambushed
a
her with it.
server never delivers it without you knowing. Like, it's not true.
It's
that
not a
he didn't
thing.
know.
It's not a real thing. It's like, are you peas? And you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, well, here it is.
It's
You're
like
served. It's like,
the server's like, where do I find her? Because you're paying me to do this. And he'll be like, well, she's on stage today.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, listen, I
I
would love to know the back.
So what's interesting, though,
Olivia
is
Wilde is,
you haven't, 100%.
Yeah, she's nice.
You haven't seen the show, but there's some heavy themes about family and, like, I won't give you too much detail, but like a marriage falling apart because of careers. And it's really heartfelt. Like, that show straddles the line between heartfelt and sappy better than anything I've ever seen.
Really? Yeah.
It's one of the most beautiful shows I've ever seen.
Friday Night Lights, man.
Yeah.
That show tears me up, man.
Yeah.
Do they have an episode where they cover someone spending all their family earnings to buy imaginary figures in a video game, all while making a company extremely rich?
No.
FIFA. Sorry, man.
FIFA. Sorry, you missed your boat. So they don't even have Olympiacos in the game. The Greek team that I follow?
Yeah.
I'm not buying it now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but you could instead play as AFC Richmond.
It's not going to happen. I'm not attached to it. If I was attached to the show, I would.
You're gonna stream it all in one night, and you're gonna immediately buy it.
I'm gonna buy the deluxe edition.
Yeah.
All right, next. Finger licking good. Jason Pierre-Paul has been signed to a 1-year deal with the Baltimore Ravens. Before this episode, I Googled it. Maryland has a strict illegal firework policy without a permit. So great job, JPP, picking a great place to live.
Safe. He's thinking about safety for his family.
Yeah, Baltimore, very safe.
Very safe.
Baltimore's known for its safety.
Yeah, safe for his family. He's like, listen, if I can stay away from my addiction of fireworks, I want to stay away from there.
Yeah. And you know what? It's a safe move by the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
Like, listen, we keep him away from the thing. It's not like it's the opposite of Johnny Manziel
They have no
coming.
risk.
It's the opposite of Johnny Manziel coming to Montreal.
Exactly.
It's the exact opposite.
Because there's way too much weed here.
On the other side, you see the Cannons in Tampa. It's amazing he made it out alive.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Amazing he made it out alive.
All right, next. I can't believe it's not flesh. Beyond Meat's COO, Doug Ramsey, bit off a little more than he could chew this week. Here's the news report.
Get ready for this one because it is beyond a lot of people. Beyond Meat says it suspended its COO, Doug Ramsey, after he was arrested for allegedly biting somebody's nose in a parking garage after a football game.
There's no way. Just because he's a CEO.
Officials say Ramsey accused the victim of bumping into his car, like bumping his car into his. According to the police report, Ramsey smashed that person's back windshield, then punched and bit him. Ramsey did not respond to a request for comment.
Was it a Beyond Nose?
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel.
Shut up.
We will not check your YouTube channel. Check ours instead at Hot Sauce Sports.
There you go.
Yeah, no, it was bizarre. What
Have you ever bit somebody in a fight?
honestly, no, because
I've
I've
like disrespectful almost.
I've never.
It's like a spitting.
Like unless I'm like fearing for my life, then okay, fine. But if I'm in like a fight with someone, like no, you don't bite them.
Like,
It's
your first instinct
like,
shouldn't be
you
to
don't
bite
pull
a
their hair,
nose.
you don't punch them in the nads. Like
Yeah,
you don't bite them.
Your
What-
first instinct shouldn't be to bite someone's nose.
What if you're on bath salts?
Then you're out of control, right? So it's not really you doing it.
Or what if bath salts is not your thing, so you're on Beyond Salts?
Oh, that's a good one. I like that.
Yeah.
Beyond salts.
Impossible salts.
Impossible
Impossible
salts. Yeah.
salts.
Beyond salts. What is it? Beyond salt. What's beyond the salt?
Imagine how more messed up
It's just pure sodium.
Just pure sodium. Beyond the salt.
It's like, I'm sorry, but his nose, I was so thirsty. I had so much sodium.
Claustrophobic. No, it's cholesterol and high blood pressure.
Yeah.
Beyond the salt.
He might get off because of high blood pressure.
I love it.
Yeah, that's the defense.
All right, next. Speaking of defense, the Department of Defense, NHL defensemen Zdeno Chara, Keith Yandle, and PK Subban all announced their retirement on the exact same day from the NHL. Rumors have it that once Chara got pulled off for retirement, the referees needed to pull at least another person off the ice to equal it all out.
Yeah, PK Subban.
Yeah.
I mean, PK Subban, what a legend. I'm gonna say this. He's a Habs legend.
I agree.
A lot of it was like a debate online.
Well, it was how this show started somewhat, right?
Yeah, I mean,
It was us arguing about
more or
PK
less,
Subban.
yeah, and I'm waiting a bit, and I'm gonna write a nice little piece on PK Subban
For sure.
because I still think that the Habs won the trade with Weber.
but
I'm not gonna discredit anything PK Subban ever did for the Habs ever, and I never have.
To me, he reinvigorated the interest in the team at a time where interest was waning.
Yeah,
And it's because we just hadn't had someone explosive like that in a long time.
the star for a long time was the goalie,
Yeah.
Patrick Roy, and then you had Kovalev for a short period of time. Then you had a few flashes of guys that coming
But
in
never
and
a
out.
guy that was like came up through the team. Right? It
Exactly.
was the guys that were traded for, when they traded for the short Italian dude, Camilleri.
yeah.
Like guys like that.
Yeah.
But this was someone that they drafted and developed, and it was cool to see. And
fell to them in the second round.
now the thing is, I like evaluating that trade is difficult because of the injuries that then befell both players, right? At different times. PK Subban's after his back injury was not the same player.
Yeah.
At all. Like you literally couldn't even see what he was.
Well, the type of player that he is, the way he skates too, he
Yeah.
needs to be completely mobile. And if you have a back problem, you and I know it.
Yeah,
just
it's debilitating.
you're working on it all the time, and it just never gets better.
Yeah. And
You're curing the symptoms. You're not curing the actual thing.
Weber came to a team to which the team was not ready to make a run. And he was brought here as a final piece for a team that needed a lot of pieces, and somehow eventually made it to the finals. A finals they did not deserve, and gave us a great season of feel good. And he's essentially also retired, by the way. But both these guys, in the end, regardless of who won the trade, to me it doesn't matter in the end, because in the end, both guys made me feel good about being a Habs fan.
Yeah.
In their time in the city.
100%. PK Subban did it more than a lot of other Habs legends, Habs players in general.
The one thing is the coded language around him, like, oh, he's not a team guy and he celebrates too much.
Well,
and
I mean,
doesn't fit into the culture.
No, that's okay. I mean, I never really had a problem with that, but like him and Pacioretty didn't like. Didn't.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, here's a little 6 degrees of separation. If when that whole Subban Pacioretty thing was going on and everything, the Canadians decide to move away from Pacioretty, who does Chara light up in the boards and break his neck?
Oh, that's a good point. So PK was traded for Weber, then
Pacioretty was traded for a bag of pucks.
Pacioretty.
Those were good pucks.
Pacioretty was traded for Suzuki and Tatar.
That's true. Actually, that wasn't bad.
That's not a bag of pucks. Tatar.
Well, Tatar's a bag of pucks.
No, Tatar was good for the Habs.
But now it's a bag of pucks.
Now it's a bag of pucks. Yeah, but
you traded captain for captain.
Yeah, exactly. So they did, right? That's the whole. It's the whole. There's a roulette of captaincy. So it was PK for Weber, and then you had Pacioretty out, and then you had Suzuki come in. Now Suzuki's the captain. It's a nice little roulette. I like it.
All right. Next, no cure for a punctured lung. Tyrod Taylor is suing the LA Chargers for malpractice and basically suing the exact same position who is now treating Justin Herbert's rib injury.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how to interpret this. Like, someone makes a mistake. it happens.
Yeah.
And you get sued, and that's what insurance is
Go
for.
private. Go private, bro.
But also, if you're Herbert, are you going into that medical
No.
room being like, oh no, not me too?
If I'm the doctor, I see Herbert, I'll be like, listen, he was just a backup, so we didn't really care about him too much. We like you. I was
No.
like, okay, cool, I'm in.
I'm gonna put Terry. I'm gonna borrow your tinfoil hat.
Oh, nice.
If in fact Herbert lets him work on him, Herbert was behind the punctured lung.
That's a good point.
He paid for it.
Herbert
There we
is Herbert is like the Tanya Harding.
It's I Herbert.
I Herbert.
Yeah.
I Herbert.
I Herbert. I like it.
And our last one here, the nighttime marinating, brining, saucing, cordon bleu grilling so you can eat medicine. The FDA has warned against the latest TikTok trend and a recipe that's been circulating the internet.
Anytime you see
NyQuil
TikTok
chicken is apparently a thing on TikTok. And if you weren't already completely disgusted by the videos that we just showed, the FDA is telling you do not do this, right? The FDA is out with this new warning against exactly what you think it is, chicken cooked in NyQuil. The FDA says it could make somebody accidentally take a dangerously high dose of NyQuil without realizing it, because obviously when you boil something, it's going to make it more concentrated. It could also change the way it works. If you inhale those NyQuil vapors while you're cooking, it could also hurt your lungs.
What the fuck is wrong with people, man? From Tide Pods to this?
Oh,
what are the dumbest TikTok things? Tide Pod was one. This is another one. There's
the cinnamon challenge is
cinnamon
whatever.
challenge is what?
Challenge,
Oh no, but that's been around for years. The cracker challenge too. Like those are okay. They're harmless.
No, not harmless. Like people have choked and stuff by doing the
cinnamon
challenge.
one?
Yeah,
And they died?
They can't breathe. Well, I don't know if they died or not. But
Just drink water.
if you can find water, what if you're not near water? What if you're landlocked?
If you're near cinnamon,
what if you're landlocked?
What if you're near cinnamon? You're near a faucet. That's the way.
Well,
Cinnamon doesn't just appear anywhere. It comes in little containers that are indoors.
What if it's a cinnamon field?
But then you're biting it.
Yeah, fair.
It's not ground.
I still think if you're landlocked, it's an issue.
There's no water on land apparently.
But the amount of people that die from taking the cold medicine trend, I don't get it. It's really horrible.
I've never done lean or anything like
But
that.
that's it.
I've always wanted to, but I'm a pussy.
Honestly, same, but it terrifies me.
Yeah, exactly. It's
because of how many people died at like 23, because it's apparently A, insanely addictive, B, incredibly harmful to all of your organs.
Every single one of them.
And maybe we shouldn't be taking cough syrup.
Also,
just cough until you're done coughing.
Also, why?
Oh, it's triple also.
Triple also.
That's how you know it's good.
Also, cough's medicine tastes like garbage.
Yeah, because that's when you mix it with Jolly Ranchers. that was the point. You take chicken breast that tastes kind of like nothing.
Yeah.
Covered in something that tastes like garbage.
Chicken breast wasn't even seasoned.
No, it was just the NyQuil.
Who the hell's cooking that?
Yeah.
I have a very different take on this. I actually encourage more people to try out these TikTok trends because there's too many people on this.
Thin the herd,
yeah.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah. I don't want to link you to the political leaders that have had that philosophy in the past, Eagle.
One, Exhibit A, Hitler.
Yeah, that's the one. Basically.
Look, if you're stupid enough to cook your fucking chicken in cough medicine, that's on you.
Yeah. I want to thank Eagle for being the one to say that. I want to thank Terry for the wonderful work he's put in today. I want to thank everyone who's taken a moment to subscribe, to rate, review, watch, listen.
Thanks to all those who watched our last episode.
Yeah.
Best episode ever,
12
apparently.
at midnight.
Yeah.
Random numbers at
You know what? Listen, it's porn or us, and I'm glad you chose us over porn. I wouldn't do it. Thank you all for watching, and thank you all for letting me be myself. You've been listening to Hot Sauce Sports.